Welcome everyone, my name is Magician Rick Eugene, and I'm a professional comedy magician, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a few tricks. Now with this trick here, I have 6 cards that have numbers on them, and we have those numbers available to you where you can make your own cards, so we won't go into that part right now. What I'm going to do is to show you these 6 cards. Now all these cards have different numbers on this. If you look, they're all in consecutive order, but this one starts at 1. This one starts at 16, but see how they're all in consecutive order. This one starts at 2. This one starts at 8. This one starts at 32, but all in consecutive order. So it's easy to find a number. This one starts at 4, all easy to find a number. So I'm going to get a volunteer from the audience. Perhaps this young lady here would come up and join us here. And I'm going to have you stand over here if you would. And what is your name? We have Kaylee here to help us out today. Now Kaylee, I have 6 cards with numbers. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 60. And don't say it out loud, just think about it. Only you will know what that number is. Now I even have a piece of paper here. We'll get a fresh one here for you, like this. And I want you to write your number big so that you can't change it, okay? So write a number between 1 and 60 on there. Don't let anybody see it, not the camera, not me. I guess you can show it to the kids at home though. I'll turn around, how about that? You show it to the kids at home and you let me know when you're ready. Don't let me see that number. You can close the book back up if you'd like. Okay. Is the number covered up?
Yes.
Perfect, because I don't want to see it. Now, very simply, I just want you to answer yes or no. Is your number on this card yes or no? She says it is, so kids, you can see the number on there. Yes or no is your number on that card?
No.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
And yes or no?
Yes.
And your number is on there? Was your number 13?
Yes.
Let's take a look. Oh, it is 13. Let's give our friend Kaylee a big round of applause. All right, thanks Kaylee for coming up. I'll explain how this trick is done. All right, Kaylee is left, so you can go to the explanation. What happens here is you saw all the cards, you know which ones to make. The trick is basically done for you. All you have to do is to pay attention to the number up here and the your upper right, left-hand corner. And so just watch that number right there. So let's pick a number like 27, okay? I have them write it down so they can't change it if there's only one person. But if there's more than one person, I just have them whisper it to everyone and so everybody knows. But let's use 27, so we'll put that off to the side. Do you see 27 on this card? Yep, there it is right there. So we add 1. Is 27 on this card? Yep, there it is. So 1 plus 16 is, yeah, that's right, 17. So is 27 on this card? Yep, there it is. So now we add 17 plus 2 is 19, correct? So is 27 on that card? Yep, there it is. So 19 plus 8 is, that's right, 27. Is 27 on that card? No, I don't see it. This one starts at 32. Is 27 on this card? No, it should be right there between the 23 and 28, and it's not. So that's how I knew what 27, how we get to the number of 27. And that works with any number they pick, 1 through 60. So make up your cards, you have the information, all right? Then show them the cards. Have them pick a number first, write it down or just think of it. Then you show them the cards and they just have to answer yes or no. And if it's yes, you add up this number, and if it's no, you don't. And whatever number you come up to for the total is the number that they chose. It's a great trick. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you have fun with it too. All right, let's move on with our second trick. Now I'm going to need a couple of volunteers for this trick here. Let's bring up our friend Kaylee who helped us out before. And perhaps, do you have somebody in the audience who could help us out?
Yes.
This young lady, would you come up and join us, please? All right, we'll keep one of you over on this side, and one of you over on this side, and that's about right. You probably could come up a little closer. I'm going to have you take one step forward and one step forward, if you will. Now, would you look over the ropes and hand me one of them, please? Untangle them. I'll take one of the ones that you want me to use first. And would you look over this wand? Look it over. When you're done, hang on to it by the two gold ends, if you will. Oh, looks like we have a knot in one of the ropes. Get that out. Oh, Kaylee's going to do it for us. Fantastic. Is this one you want me to start with?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on to your wand like this. We're going to take the end and drop it over like this. And I'm going to even up the two ends just like this. Perfect. Now, if I could have one of the other rope, we'll do the same thing. Even up the two ends just like this and let them fall to the floor. Now, you'll find this trick in a lot of books in the libraries. It's in a book called Mark Wilson's Complete Course in Magic. We're going to tie a knot onto the wand using our ropes. Just feed that through. We're going to tie the knot nice and tight, just like that. Mary's going to let go of the wand, and I'm going to have her hang on to these two ends of the rope, and if you would hang on to these two ends of the rope. Now, it kind of looks like a floating wand trick, but we're going to take this a step further. I could put anything on here that I want, but I see Mary's wearing a coat over there, so I wonder if she'd let me borrow her coat. Could we borrow your coat? I'll hang on to the ropes while you take that off. Fantastic. All right, hang on to those two ropes. And is this a coat? If something happened to it, would you be upset with it?
Always.
Oh, you should be upset. We want to take great care with it. We don't want it to hit the floor. Great care. We don't want the young lady upset with us. We're going to take the wand and put it on here and hanging up our coat like this, okay? And it looks like a giant coat hanger is what it does. But we're going to take this a step further. See, this is actually a Harry Houdini escape illusion. So we're going to have Mary take her two ropes and feed them through the left sleeve. When you put them, when they come out the sleeve, hang on to the ends and you can go back and stand where you were with the two ropes in your hand. Perfect. And if you do the same thing to the right sleeve, feed them through. If you find any money in the coat, I'll split it with you. Perfect. All right, hang on to it tight. There's our giant coat hanger. Now, Harry Houdini liked to make his escape illusions complicated. So what's going to happen is this. Mary's going to hand me one of her ends of the rope. Now, the end that she gives me is the end we're going to use. So it's her choice, whichever one she wants. This is the one you want me to use? That's the wrong one. No, it was a joke. I'm sorry. If I could have one of your ends, please. All right? And we're going to try to tie a one-handed knot. Please take this end. And if you would take your end, pull tight. Pull very tight. It's not my coat, guys. Don't worry about the coat. Oh. We don't want anything to happen over here. We have kind of a mess here. Let's recap what happened. Remember, we tied a knot onto the wand with two ends going through each sleeve. That's a knot on the outside. That means if these guys were to pull really hard, this sleeve would go through this sleeve would go through that sleeve, and this coat would rip to shreds. Would you like to see that?
Yes.
Would you like to see that? Kids, do you want to see it? Well, majority rules, you know how that happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach inside. We're going to pull out our magic wand. On the count of three, I want both of you to pull as hard as you can, and let's rip this coat to shreds. On the count of three. Are you ready? You guys can count with us at home. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and the coat magically escapes. Now hang on to the ropes. How did that happen? Because there's nothing wrong with the coat. It's all in one piece. All right? Anything unusual about the ropes? They're solid ropes. Everything is solid here. It's exactly what it is. So how did this happen? To explain this trick, I'm going to have to keep my volunteers up here to explain exactly how we did it. All right, now let's explain the trick. All right, what's going to happen is this. She's going to hold on to the wand again. And the ropes are authentic ropes, so you have them examined, but we don't need to have them examined this time. But please hang on to one of them while I work with the other. There you go. So what's going to happen is exactly what I'm showing you. I'm taking a rope, it's going over, I'm pulling like this, I'm evening up the ends. Everything is simple. This is not difficult. I have fooled heads of companies using their jackets, corporate events, and just had a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to tie a knot onto the ropes. There's nothing happening, no sleight of hand. Everything is exactly what you see. So I take those two ends, and I pull, and we have our knot. Everything is exactly how it is. Please let go of the wand. I have her hang on to these two ends of the rope. I have her hang on to those two ends of the rope. We have a knot onto our wand. Remember that knot. That's important later on. So I could use coffee cups and have them strung through the rope, or string, whatever I'm using. I could use big hoops, like hula hoops. I could use chairs that have holes in them. In this case, I'm using a jacket. All right? So, I'm going to put the jacket, the wand, and hang it up. Again, I've done nothing sleight of hand. It's exactly what I've showed you. She's going to feed the 2 ropes through the left sleeve. Again, nothing sleight of hand. It's exactly what you're seeing. She's going to put the 2 ropes through the right sleeve. And pull. And now we have it tight. And again, no sleight of hand. What's going to happen now is I tell the story of why we tie a knot onto the outside to make it more difficult. That's not why we tie the knot. The knot is part of the trick. That's just part of my story or pattern. So I'll take one of her ends, and it doesn't matter which one she gives me, but I make a little joke when she hands me one that she gave me the wrong one, just to get a little bit of a laugh. But it doesn't matter which one she gives me. It doesn't matter which one Kaylee gives me. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to try to tie a one-handed knot. So I'm basically flipping that over. Let me show you what that looks like, because I'm doing that with one hand. So I'm just taking this and flipping that over once and pull. Kind of like when you tie your shoe, the very first part when you tie a shoe. She's going to hang on to that end, and she's going to hang on to this end, and they're going to pull. And they're going to pull tight. And again, it really doesn't matter. And I try to get that as tight as I can. It looks like the jacket's ruined or something's wrong with it. I've used very expensive jackets, never had a problem, ever. All right? But you always want to be careful. If you're not sure, don't. So here we have a knot on the outside. Now I recap and I remind them about what happened, how we had a knot on the wand. Remember the knot? Because that's important. All right? And then we had 2 ends going through each sleeve with a knot on the outside. And then I tell them if they pull really hard, this sleeve will go through that sleeve, this sleeve will go through this sleeve, and this coat will rip to shreds. Now that's not going to happen. It's just a scare tactic, and it works. It's for the comedy. So how this trick works is this. As soon as I pull out the wand, now remember the knot we made on the wand earlier? As soon as I pull the wand out, the knot that was on it disappears. So we're going to try to do this in slow motion. I'm going to set this off to the side. See, but what's happening is the knots reverse themselves. So we have a knot inside the coat. That one's gone now. And a knot on the outside. Since the knot on the inside is gone, the ropes look like they go through the coat or look like they go through the sleeves, but they're just slowly untying each other. Let's see if we can do this slowly. I don't know how well that's going to... Well, it popped off quicker than I wanted to. But as you can see, it just untied. And the knot that was in front now unties itself as well. So it looks like 2 straight pieces of rope. It looked like the coat came right off the center of the coat because they're hanging onto the ends, and it's a very, very cool effect. And again, you could use a coat, rings, lots of different things you can use. This trick is actually called Chords of Fantasia, and you'll find it in a lot of magic books. I believe they use plastic bracelets for the trick in the book, but you can substitute the bracelets for so many different things. Let's give our friends a big round of applause for helping. Thank you guys for coming up. Awesome job. Thank you. And we have a free consolation coat for you. There you go. All right. So let's get rid of this, and we'll move on to our last trick. All right. Now this trick is can be a little more difficult, but most libraries have the secret of this trick in their books. If you went to the magic shop and bought this trick, they're going to call it Professor's Nightmare, and they're going to charge you anywhere from $15 up to $30, and all you get is rope. And you're getting about $1 worth of rope. You're paying for the secret. It's an expensive trick. It's a great trick, and I'm not saying it's not worth the money, but why not go to the library and learn from their books for free? All right, it's a lot easier to do, and then if you have an interest in it, maybe then spending the money at the magic shop. So this is what we're going to do. We have a long rope, a medium rope, and a short rope. Normally when I'm performing this, I would have spectators pull on the rope to make sure they're tight, because these can all be examined, So what I'm going to do is come out front here, and I'm going to take all 3 ropes and line them up according to size, small, medium, and a large. Small, medium, and large. You can see the small one on this side and the long one on this side. I simply take the small rope, put it up toward the top, the medium rope right alongside of it, and the long one right alongside of that. Now, just by snapping my fingers, you can actually see the magic happen. Did you see it? Well, watch very carefully. Here on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, whoops, I said 3, and they all become the same size. We actually have 1 medium rope. We now have 2 medium ropes. We now have 3 medium ropes. All I have to do is to grab the ends, give them a little bit of a shake, and we've got the small rope back, the medium and long rope, all back to the original size. It's a great trick. Let me show you how this is done. So let me show you the secret first. I'm going to get the ropes lined up. All right, we're going to put the small one up towards the top, the medium right alongside of that, and the long one right alongside of that. I pull down, and we have our 3 medium ropes. Now you see 3 medium ropes there, right? Because we have 1, we have 2, and we even have 3. Do we really have 3 medium ropes there though? Let's take another closer look. All right, I have 1 medium rope, and then I switch this one for these 2, because I pull these up the second time. But let's actually take a look at those 2. Look at that. That's the small rope I'm holding in my hand with the long rope over the side. Okay? I'll show you how I got to that point, but this is what happens is I pull out 1, I switch, 2, and then I'm showing this one twice, 3. And that's how I show 3 medium pieces of rope. Let's start from the beginning. Let's line these up. For this trick, you'll need 3 pieces of rope. You'll need, you can use soft clothesline, shoelaces. I've used string for practicing. But try to find some soft rope. You don't want the rope that's nylon, that's real tough to bend or anything like that. You want it real soft. Some soft white clothesline works well. But I've used any kind of rope. I've used spools of wire that are not the kind you plug in. That would be silly. The wire that's in a spool, I've used that. I've used farmer's twine, the frayed kind. I've used lots of different types of things. This is a total sleight of hand trick. So once your ropes are lined up, you have the small one here on your right side and the long one on your left side. Okay? So I'm going to do this from behind like this so you can see my view. I'm going to reach from behind and grab the small rope and then bring it over to the 3 o'clock position. Now just hold this right here for right now. Okay, watch me. I'm going to put this rope over here on this side. Notice how I have these ends all lined up in a nice straight line. I want them looking nice and straight so it's easier for me to do the trick. When I bring this rope over here, I have to lift up my thumb. So first I bring it over and hold it by the tops. I lift up my left thumb and put it back on top. Then I separate here. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is number 4. I put my thumb in between 1, 2, and 3, and here's 4. So when I come down to bring the medium rope, I bring it over here next to the single rope that's number 4. This is now number 5. And I just bring it up right next to it, and these fingers hold on to the rope. I'll do it again. I bring it up. These fingers here hold on to the rope, and now I have 4, 5, and 6 on this end. I call these cat whiskers. They can be spread out real far so you never make a mistake. You don't want them close together because you don't want to mix up the ends. So when I pull down on 4, 5, and 6, watch what happens. I have my 3 medium pieces of rope. Not true medium, because remember we have that secret gimmick part that we made. Remember that part. But that's how I get to that spot, my 3 medium pieces. Then I simply switch it over to the other hand, and I can open it. The blue curtain there is the audience. Okay, I can open up my hand so I can see, and I find the 1 true medium piece of rope and pull it out. Now the next part's easy because I just have to switch. So I switch one for the other and pull the 2. There's my single one. And I just show this one twice again. So I pull it up here, and remember when you look, people will follow your movement. It's part of misdirection. So when I look over here, they look over here too. If I look over here, they look over here. So I bring it out, and I let it drop, and I have my 3 medium pieces of rope. Now, I don't want to get caught with this, so as soon as I show that they're all 3 medium pieces, then I bring up the ends, I give them a little bit of a shake, and I pull out the small rope first, and then I just grab 2 ends, usually I get 1 of each, and drop it, and then show the different pieces of rope. What you don't want to do in this trick is the long one here, you don't want to hold it like this by the middle, because what does that look like now? It looks like 2 medium pieces of rope, doesn't it? So you want the long one to always look as long as possible, always hold it by an end, always. You want the short one to look short, and the medium, and it really adds to the misdirection and the ending of the trick. This is called equal and unequal ropes in a lot of library books, or spaghetti ropes. In the magic shop, they call it Professor's Nightmare, but in a library book, even school libraries, it'll be called equal and unequal ropes or spaghetti ropes. Play the tape back. I've given you all the information you need. It's a great trick. You'll have a lot of fun with it, and you can just use a prop from home to do the trick. Guys, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.